Hello and welcome to another episode of Take Flight Trend. I will be talking about all of the hostels I stayed in while I was in England and Wales. The first one I stayed at was the Astor Victoria, and it was decent. It was kind of small, and there was assigned beds in this hostel. I only stayed there for one night, and I got there pretty late and left pretty early, so I don't have a lot to talk about, but the beds were nice. They were bright orange, and it was great. So the next one was the YAH Liverpool, and this was a funny sign that they had. So, hostel room tour number 2. The other one I think I only got pictures of, but that's okay. It wasn't the best. But this one I like. This is the bed I chose. There are 3 bunk beds in here, so there are 6 people. Last night we had 6 people. So, there's a light, which produces a lot of light. 2 USB plugs. Focus. 2 USB plugs, a place to plug your phone or any other electronics, and another switch. So there's 2 cubbies. This one is not one of my cubbies, but this one is. The one on that side was my locker. This is a mirror. Excuse my hair. I decided to go for a messy look. There's a coat rack right when you walk in the door. And a shower. And the bathroom. So while I was there, I had some tea and some dinner, and if you want to know more about what I did while I was in Liverpool, you can go and see my Liverpool video that I did. The next hostel that I stayed in was the River House. It was by far my favorite, and I was in room 3. So this, number 2, is the bed that I was sleeping in while I was here. This is the last day that I'm filming this on, so that's why I'm using the past tense. But it was the biggest bed. Most of them were twins. This one was a full. It had 2 pillows, so since it was a full, and a big blanket, USB charger, thing for your light, which was bright, and 2 more plugs. The heater was right next to my bed, which was nice when I came in when it was cold. These are the other 2 beds, and there were 4 windows, so 1, 2, 3 with a beautiful view. They all have this view, but that's the stadium over there, and that's the river that runs through the town, and it's about a 10-minute walk to the shops and a 5-minute walk to the park, which, if you can see those yellow flowers over there, right by where my finger is, they're tiny, that's where they are, and then here's the 4th window. The bathrooms were downstairs. There is a light switch here, and these are the lockers. You turn it, and it's got a pretty decent size. It's got 2 hangers in there so that you can hang some of your stuff as well. This, again, was my bed. There was also a chair in the room, and that's about it. It's by far been my favorite hotel. The beds were very squishy and comfortable to lay on and sit on. So they also did have a full kitchen, which was very nice. It had a microwave, a stove, a fridge. As long as you labeled your stuff, they were fine with you keeping stuff in there. And every morning for breakfast, they had a bunch of stuff out: toast, bread, toaster, and everything else. You could also buy stuff that they had available. So if you needed soda or something simple, you could buy that there as well. And it was a decent sized kitchen, and it was very nice. I ended up making myself some juice and some honey with tea. So this is one of the windows, and a few pictures of the kitchen dining room area, and this is where everyone would hang out, and there were a lot of people socializing and just hanging out for fun. They also had a TV in their living room, and then there was another indoor area that had a TV that was like a living room that was closed. So this was the outdoor area, which had
a couple of tables, and it was pretty nice. It was a wood deck, and there were flowers. Some of them hadn't bloomed yet because it was still pretty early in the spring when I went, but it was very nice to be outside, even though it was raining, and having a spot that was just for people who were staying at the hostel for when it was raining, and for just being there and getting to spend time with each other. And this was a very community hostel. Everyone who was there, I think I had talked to at least once while I was there, so it was nice. One of my roommates was actually from China for the first night that I was there, so that was very amazing. I got to talk to her about her culture and stuff. They also had magazines and food brochures from the area so that you had ideas of where to go. And I'm walking to the bathroom right now, which was downstairs, and they had the best signs for their bathroom. If you're a superhero, you can go in there. And one side was showers, and one side had a toilet, and some of the bathrooms had showers and a toilet in them. So this is the living room I was talking about. There was a whole bookshelf of books, and then they had Netflix, and I believe it was Amazon Prime they also had, which was very nice because it was logged in, so I could watch whatever I wanted, and I got to watch some TV with some other people and hang out and talk. And I also read part of a book about Wales and just their culture and stuff. And they had a pet cat, and it was the sweetest thing in the planet. So the next hostel that I stayed in was the Palmer's Lodge, but I didn't get any pictures. And then I stayed in the Pax Lodge, which is a hostel for Girl Scouts and Girl Guides all over the world. And it's actually one of the world centers. So this is the bedroom that I stayed in. It was a triple room, and this was obviously, since it's a Girl Scout thing, it was themed for Girl Scouts and Girl Guides. They had patches, they had dolls, they had a map where you could pin where you were from, which I thought was super cool, and like that couch was amazing. And then they had like the Girl Scout law and the guide law, and it was very themed for Girl Scouts in London, and it was very nice to be there. And while I was there, there was actually a conference of brownie girls, and I got to meet some of them. The last hostel I stayed in was the Heath.